But I just want to first start out by talking about how an NBA lottery system would work in the NFL, or if it would benefit the NFL. Now, there are some flaws with the lottery system, right? I myself, as an Orlando Magic fan, think there's a large flaw with it after they get the fifth and the eighth pick, after they had one of the highest chances to get the number one pick. But nevertheless, Jordan, what do you think about the lottery system? And I feel like it's kind of innovative in a sense.
Yeah, I like it. And it decentivizes tanking, which I
Hmm.
think regardless of what players say, oh, we're gonna go out there and we'll never intentionally lose a game, like teams do tank in the
Yeah.
NFL. I really do think it's a thing. If you're a bad team like Jacksonville that starts off 1-0 and then promptly loses your next 15 games, if you didn't have a 100% chance of getting that first pick in the draft, I think it would be a good thing. So whether it would be like the top four each have a 20% chance at the first pick, and then you went
Yeah.
like, I don't know, or maybe one and two each have 25, and then you have like 15 for the, like, they'd have to figure out the weight of it, obviously. It'd be cool to see like a number 12 team like get the number one pick or like luck
Hmm.
into it. It would kind of tick the bad teams off. They'd still get good picks, obviously, because the average would give them like two or three or four or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be fun. I really do. If you split the teams down the middle and said the top 16 teams are going to be ordered in this lottery, because like once you get past like seven or eight, it's going to probably fall into place how you expect it to. Like those teams are going to get what they get. But then you would have the lottery protected picks like you have
Yeah.
in the draft, and say if this lands in the bottom four, the top four, then we get our pick back like the Magic had with the Bulls that landed
Hmm.
outside the top four. The Bulls forfeited their pick to Orlando, so that'd be cool. I wish the NFL would be innovative and think of something like that. I guess it wouldn't be innovative if they copied the idea, but still, be forward thinking a little bit and say, this could maybe decentivize some teams from saying, oh, we suck, we're going to lose all of our games, and we're going to purposefully be bad. Like that. Remember the Hail Mary when the Jets dialed up like zero coverage or something?
Hmm.
Like it was ridiculous. They had one guy deep,
Yep.
and just got completely exposed. The teams wouldn't be able to do stuff like that. And the story goes like that was a simple miscommunication. That was a tank job. Like I don't care what people say. It was a tank job. I might be thinking of a different team, but nevertheless, I think it'd be cool. I mean, it'd be a fun thing for the NFL. The coaching aspect, like Zach's question verbatim, that's really interesting.
Right.
But the idea itself would be pretty fun.
I think so too. And if you think about it, so how many teams make the playoffs right now in the NFL? So 16 teams make the playoffs?
14,
Four,
I think.
okay, so you would probably then have to go to six. Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to do math at this point. This is where it gets bad. You'd have to probably go everyone who doesn't make the playoffs into the lottery, then, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would be what, 18? Because 18 plus
Mhm.
14 is 32, right?
Yep.
Whew.
Good math.
Thank you.
Wow.
That I got nervous because I know these people will roast me if I don't do math. They've put a lot of pressure on me to do these quick mental maths, and it's made me better. These good players adjust, but that's really interesting to think about. If you think every pick outside of the playoffs is essentially not guaranteed, like there were some kind of guaranteed picks, when it comes to the lottery, like the last, I think, like 15 through like maybe 11 or like pretty much a certain, who's going
Yeah.
to get those picks. But just because their chances are so low to get the top pick, and it's just a lot easier for them to fall where they're projected to go, I should say. But I just think that that's just a really interesting concept, and I wish a lot of other leagues did that, because the way of just going, okay, if you lost the most games, you get the first pick, just seems archaic to me, right? It seems just like we could think of something better. And the NBA, I think, has done a good job of it to prevent the tanking, like you mentioned. But I just think there could be something to make it more exciting for the fans too. I know, and nobody wants to cheer for losses, and I think at some point in the season, fans of these teams start cheering for losses, and nobody likes to do that, especially if you want the number one overall pick. There's a lot of talented players. how fun would it be if it was a lottery system? And if you get put in, okay, Jacksonville has a, just go with 20% chance to get the first pick, but also, so do the Jets. And who had the number 3 pick before the Niners traded up for it? That would have been,
No, it wasn't Miami.
wouldn't have been them. Oh, wow. I don't remember. Who did they trade with?
It seems
The
like it was so
Giants?
long ago, but
No.
it's literally what, 2 months, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll look up the NFL standings while I give it to you and ask you this question. How do you think that college players would react to this, right? Because this changes the draft all completely. Do you think that would make more intrigue for college players? I know we've seen sometimes, uh, Trevor Lawrence, I think, was asked several times, would you play for the New York Jets? You wouldn't have those kind of types of questions anymore. Do you think this changes, this whole draft process? You think?
Yeah, I think pre-draft it would be more fun. I think the
Mm,
players would go through more meetings with more teams. Like even a presumptive number one pick, like a Trevor Lawrence, wouldn't necessarily only meet with one team. He'd say, "Well, there are 4 or 5 or even 6 or 7 teams that realistically could luck into getting that number one pick and take me." And some teams have different needs. Like a team at number 7 could just have a bad year where their quarterback was injured or they have a young guy who is struggling, like a Cincinnati Bengals. They may not have had the worst record in the league, but they had a guy who looked good, clearly their quarterback of the future, but then got hurt. So they struggled as a team. It change the pre-draft process for sure. I think it'd be more fun for from a meeting standpoint, from a fan standpoint of football.
mhm.
Be more difficult and complex probably for the teams to kind of narrow what they're going to do. It would separate who scouted well from the rest of the pack, definitely, because teams
Yeah.
kind of get lazy and say, well, we have our eyes set on this guy. We're going to hope that he's there. I think it would make for some trades after the lottery, too. Like you'd see a team that has this, that, and the other and say, well, we didn't get a great pick in the lottery, or, oh, we lucked into this, but we really don't need it. Let's pick up a later pick. Like if, let's say the Chiefs somehow, God forbid Mahomes gets injured, went
Right.
like 7-10 or whatever the record would be, got the 14th pick or something. Like teams would kind of just maneuver around. Some team could end up like Orlando and get 2 in that top 10 range or whatever. So I think it'd be fun, but mostly the effect of it, I guess, would play out pre-draft.
That will do it for today's podcast preview. If you enjoyed the preview, make sure to check out the full show out on your favorite podcast provider. Don't know how to find it? Go to smarturl.it/roughing. Got a splash page. You can find your favorite provider there and find the show there, or go into the search bar of your favorite show, type in Roughing the Kicker. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like. It really helps us out. If you enjoy the channel and the podcast as a whole, subscribe and obviously get that notification bell on because you don't want to miss any more podcast previews. We'll be back with another video soon. So until then, I'll talk to you next time.